Hey guys, it's Eric here at Farpoint Farms. I just wanted to give you one last piece of information of how we're getting by without power, water, internet, cable, cell reception, well, pretty much everything, let's just be honest. We're on day 9 now, and I wanted to show you our shower situation, our bath situation. This bucket and that bucket there, that's how we are keeping clean, keeping hygienically clean as well. And it's important to do so in events like this, emergencies, where we don't end up having bacterial spread, stuff like that, sickness. These can be a big issue when power and sanitation just disappears from our lives. So what we're doing is, I'm going to take you down and show you my spring. A spring is just a water that flows right out of the side of our mountain. We're very blessed to have 2 of them on the property, and we use those normally as you would a well, but in this case we're able to go down there and directly tap into it, fill up water, and I'll show you here what we're using to fill up water wise. And then we get it refilled, come up here. This is our clean water and that is our soapy water, and we can just stand out here on the porch, being blessed to not have neighbors within eye view of our property here. The porch doubles as a shower at this point, where we just rinse off and then towel off and dry and head back in the house. And it really does make you feel better to have a nice, clean shower, clean feel to you. So that's this setup here. This is how we're showering. Let me show you what I've got on the tractor, and I'll talk to you about how we use that to maintain some semblance of stability here in the apocalypse. Let's do what you see in front of you here is our basic setup. We have bottles that I usually bring into work, and we just refill these over and over again. So we had these on hand, and these are our drinking water. So we have a variety of these, probably 6 or 7 of them scattered throughout the house. And if you're thirsty, you take a drink of water. These gallon-sized ones, I did pick up about 4 gallons worth of gallon jugs of water, and I just hung on to these containers because they're good for a couple years. We use these for cooking, the larger ones here. And then for cleaning and for flushing toilets, we have just repurposed some cat litter containers. I believe they're maybe 2 gallons, 2.5 gallons. Either way, they're good for about a flush and a half out of our toilets. And so we just use these up and then load up the empties and go refill it. And actually, it's time for me to reload these and go down and refill it. So what I'm gonna do here is I'll pause the camera, I'll show you all these empty, and we'll bring them back up and we'll be ready to head down to the spring. I'll show you one of the main reasons why I bought this property. Let's do it. So water comes into the property here one of 2 ways, and this is the first way. You'll see we have a little bit of a low flow stream here. Not very much coming through here right now, but let me show you a video of what it looked like when it was getting those 30-something inches. This didn't really worry me as far as flooding into the garage, which is right here, or any other part of our property, because this is a spring-fed stream. And that means that up here, right at the property line, there's a spring, and water just flows from the mountain, and it slowly makes its way all the way down here, down past the little eBay studio or eBay store there, and then off down to my lower piece of property. And you can actually see it actually disappears back into the mountain. Here it's wet, and then it's dry. So it actually turns back into a spring, filters through the mountain, and shows up about 200 feet farther downstream there, down the hill. And so that one there we can use in the spring when the winter thaw is happening. This is a pretty steady flowing pile of water, and we could use that to for flushing, that kind of stuff. We wouldn't want to drink it unless you went up to the source up there, but that's not where we get our drinking water from. So let me take the tractor down and I will show you where we actually get our drinking water from. All right, so here we are. That is our cistern that holds water that is coming down from a hole right about there. And so we just dug that out, and it's got a lot of branches and stuff down, but it doesn't matter. We dug it out and put a hose, about a 1.5-inch hose in there, and it runs down here and it flows pretty nicely all year. Occasionally it will clog up and we'll have to go in there and use compressed air to blow out the line, but honestly you're looking at maybe once, maybe twice a year at most. So let me hop on down there with a couple of these jugs. I'll show you how easy it is to get water. So this here is our overflow pipe. All the water that comes in goes into this tank, and any excessive goes on out and down into the stream or the river below us. So to get water out of it is not a big deal. You just pull that out, and you can see it's a pretty good flow. In fact, we've actually considered using this for hydroelectric, but the flow rate is low enough that it would take quite a bit of storage to really capture that much energy off of it. However, it's always a possibility. And it was one of the main reasons we purchased this property. And of course, this is 100% safe to drink. This is the same water that gets pumped up to our house to be drank. So you don't have to worry about Giardia or any kind of issues, because this comes from directly being filtered through the mountain right into this tank. And it's nice and cold too, which is great during the summertime. Come down here and it's like taking an ice bath, because it's about 55 degrees year round. Now, there are so many people in town who are dependent on city water, and so many people out in rural areas that are dependent on wells that have to have pumps to operate, that we are truly blessed to have access to this. And I think it's one of the best parts about living in the mountains, is having access to a spring like this is just unheard of. I literally had to do research on it when I realized this was a thing, because until I moved up here to the mountains, I had never heard of it. So that's it. That's how we get our water. And now we have the ability to flush toilets, clean dishes, take showers, sponge baths, and of course, plenty of water to drink safely. I guess that'll do it for today, my friends. Hope you're doing well during the disaster that is unfolding in the Blue Ridge Mountains. I'll see you next time. Take care.